Welcome back to Additive ASMR. Today we have another skeletal animal, and this one I'm actually pretty dang excited about. Ever since I was a young lad, was always a big fan of reptiles, dinosaurs, lizards, really anything that's kind of exotic like that. And when I was browsing through STL Flicks and saw that they had produced a skeleton chameleon, I basically just jumped out of my chair. I was so excited to print him. He came out quite nice, I like to think, and he's a bit different from all of the other skeletal animals that we've printed because he actually printed as one full piece, so no assembly required, which when we're talking about 3D printing is always really cool if you can execute that, because you basically just press start on the printer, and I think this guy, in about an hour and a half later, he existed, which is just such a cool way to utilize additive or 3D printing. The fact that you can dream up in your head what you want to see, design it, and if you design it well enough, you can just press play after a little bit of extra work prepping the file in a slicer. But if you've done that work once, you can just press play on the printer over and over again and just keep printing, in this case, chameleons. So how this guy printed is, if you imagine our fake grass here, as our build surface inside a 3D printer, there's usually a removable build platform, which we call the bed. And if you have a removable bed, or a removable build sheet, I guess would be a better way to say it, the build sheet goes on to the bed. So if you imagine the black as the bed, and this is the build sheet, the lizard actually, chameleon, my goodness, don't get that wrong. If you imagine this as our build sheet, the lizard would kind of, oh my gosh, he's a chameleon, get it right. The chameleon would print like this, kind of sprawled out anywhere. And if we flip him over, you'll kind of see all of the flat spots on him. That's contact with the build sheet. And if I can get him close enough here, it's very tough to see with the camera, but you can kind of see the texturing on the bottom. There, that's a little better, compared to the layer lines on the side. That's because I'm using a textured build sheet. So when the molten plastic comes out of the nozzle, it's coming in contact with a heated bed and pressing onto this surface, which gives us the texture. there's all kinds of different build sheets that you can use for different effects or different bonding factors, but I've found that the textured one works most of the time for me. Look at his cute little face. It would have been cool, now that I think about it, if the jaw was separate and could open, and if he had like a skeletal tongue, almost like his tail, that rolled out. Maybe when I get more time on my hands this winter, maybe I'll modify him. Because I did not design this file, but I could probably modify him in a way that maybe his jaw opens up and then you could roll kind of in the rest of his head there a really long tongue, and then you could just hold the head back, let the jaw fall open, and then let a skeletal tongue pop out. But yeah, I thought this guy was a really fun print. And I think out of all the skeletal animals, this chameleon was pretty sweet. We'll set him down here. Get our magical tappy finger. And do some light tapping. Well, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this Chameleon ASMR. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it tremendously helps me out. And until next time, keep printing those Z's.